Hello, children of light. Welcome back to Faith and Rainbows. So today, God wanted me to remind you to walk in the light, for you are the children of light. You are God's people. And I'm going to read a little part of this little children's Bible storybook that I just recently found, and I wanted to share some of it. So it says, God makes a beautiful world. Long, long ago, long before anyone can remember, God made the world. But it didn't look the way it does now, for there were no people, animals, birds, trees, bushes, or flowers, and everything was lonely and dark. Then God made the light. He said, "Let there be light," and light came. God was pleased with it. He gave the light a name, calling it day. And so that talks about how light is a blessing. And that definitely reminded me of Ephesians 5, which says, "Therefore be imitators of God as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also has loved us and given himself for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling aroma." So do not try to be God, but be like God. Follow Christ's example. Someone great loves you. Let it become you. Wear it, live it, and walk it. Walk in his love. You are loved. I am loved by God. You need to abide in God and carry it with you as you walk. Bring it with you where you go, despite who you may come across. Leave it with those you meet. Put a seed, plant it. And in Matthew 11:28, God speaks, saying that if you have a heavy burden, come to him and he will give you rest, because his burden is light. And that's an easy yoke in Christ alone. And then he goes on to speak of walking in light. Verse 8, "For you were once darkness, no longer. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth, finding out what is acceptable to the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is shameful," it is shameful even to speak of the things of those done by them in secret. "But all things that are exposed are made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. Therefore he says, awake you who sleep, arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light." And so that speaks of a lot of measures. One of them saying that God hates sin. It separates us from him when we choose sin instead of him. Do not entertain or invite evil. That's really important that we need to remember as children of light. We need to remember, don't invite it. Just don't even invite it. Don't even start it. Don't invite it in. His light is in you. Let that light be illuminated. That reminds me of wisdom when I think of light. God's grace is sufficient for us when we're walking down this path, that no matter what comes down the path, we can walk in his love for us as his child. We no longer have to walk in darkness. That's a reminder to you today that through Christ's power, that you can stand up, you can resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And how do you do that? By submitting to God. That's in James 4:7. That's really important that you know that as a child of light. And when the light is shining, the path is also illuminated. When you walk as children, walk in the light, that path is going to be lit up. It's not going to be a path that is hidden. It's going to be lit up. Like God is going to light that path up for you. Walk in light. That's speaking of walking in Jesus, because he says he is the way. He is that pathway. 1 Peter 2:9. "But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praises of him who called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light, who once were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had not obtained mercy, but have now attained mercy." And another thing that reminds me of is the eye. Everything that you can see is by the eye. Well, how is it possible that the eye is able to see colors? How is the eye able to see? That is through light, which is Jesus. Like if you study the physical eye, that's what you will learn, is that the eye is able to see through light. That's the only way it's able to see. And the colors, in fact, how colors are even possible is the light is reflected off of certain objects, and that's how colors are literally formed. That's how our eye is able to see different colors. This is your reminder today to walk in light, to walk in freedom. Let's do this together, church. Let's do this together as children of light. That is what God is saying, that we are children of light. But be encouraged today that you are a child of light. Let that light shine for all to see. Let's continue to shine for Jesus and submit to him in everything we do, because that is where life is found. So I hope this video has blessed you, that it's been an encouragement to you, and that you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video.